I mean, who was his girlfriend? Jennie asked. Do I know her? Maybe. Her name was Jessica Ames. She went to a private school in Portland and was home for the summer. The mayor's daughter? She did remember Jessica. Talented, beautiful, and spoiled. Jennie had met her at a fundraiser of some sort that Graham had dragged her to. Yeah, and her folks are out for blood. Why was she dating Todd? He was not only younger, but definitely not on the same social level. He'd liked her for a long time. I never did understand what he saw in her. She was nice enough, but... Ryan's words trailed off. His gaze drifted back to Jennie. He didn't do it. I know Todd, and I can't believe he'd killed anyone, especially Jessica. He loved her. Jennie pinched her lips together, partly because she didn't know what to say, and partly to keep from telling him that people weren't always as they seemed. Have you talked to Graham and JB? With her grandfather being an FBI agent and Graham an ex-police officer, Jennie figured they'd have some insight on the case and might even be working on it. Graham had a thing for solving mysteries. For that matter, so did Jennie. Not yet. I'm not sure they even know. It happened last week while they were gone, and I haven't had much chance to talk to them. Jennie was about to ask him for details when Mrs. Johnson opened the back door. Ryan, telephone, it's Todd. She waved. Hi, Jennie, welcome back. Helen called a few minutes ago. Said if you got here before they did to make yourself at home. Door's unlocked. I'll talk to you later. Ryan called over his shoulder and jogged across the yard to his house. Apparently feeling as rejected as Jennie did, Bernie moved up beside her and licked her hand. She absently stroked his silky coat. I have a feeling this is going to be a long 2 weeks, Bern. And here I thought this vacation was going to be fun. Silly me. When the door to the Johnson home closed, Jennie shuffled back to her Mustang and glanced into the back seat. Nick was still asleep. He'd managed to stay awake for an hour on their drive down from Portland and would probably be out for a while. Not wanting to wake him, she pulled the key out of the ignition, gently closed the door, and opened the trunk. Might as well haul their stuff in and get settled. 10 minutes later, while filling Bernie's water dish, Jennie heard a car door slam. She leaned over the sink to look out the kitchen window. Ryan backed his car out of the garage, whipped around, and headed down the drive, spraying gravel and raising a cloud of dust. Her stomach nodded. Where was he going in such a hurry, and why hadn't he asked her to go with him? Not that she could have with Nick still asleep, but at least he could have asked. She had a strong hunch it had something to do with Todd. Jennie sighed and moved away from the window, then set the dish on the back porch where Bernie waited. Forget it, McGrady, she told herself. Ryan still likes you, he's just worried about his friend. She vowed to be understanding, left the pup lapping, then went to check on Nick again. Hey, little buddy. Jennie pulled the seat forward and helped Nick out. Nick scowled the way he usually did after a nap. Like a 4-armed octopus, he wrapped his skinny arms and legs around her neck and waist. She carried him into the house and she settled into the rocker, nuzzling his neck. You gonna sleep all day? He murmured something unintelligible against her shoulder. Jennie smiled and kissed the top of his head. The thick black hair tickled her nose. Bernie's waiting to play ball with you. Where's Grandma and Papa? Nick raised his head and let his hands drop onto his thighs. Shopping. Bet they'll be bringing home something special for us. Nick's navy blue eyes widened. Like gummy worms? Jennie chuckled. Maybe. I was thinking more like crab and shrimp. He yawned. I'd rather have worms. Gravel crunched as a car pulled into the driveway. Nick scampered off Jennie's lap and hit the floor running. They're here! Jennie hurried after him, and the two watched Graham maneuver her classic 1955 Thunderbird convertible into the space beside Jennie's Mustang. Well, if it isn't 2 of my favorite grandchildren. JB's Irish blue eyes twinkled as he stepped out of the car and spread his arms to welcome them. The way he scooped Nick up and hugged him made it seem as if he'd been a grandfather all his life, instead of only a couple of months. Jennie got her hug from JB and hurried around to greet Graham. Graham wrapped her slender arms around Jennie. It's so good.